Greetings Game Strata, welcome to the second official Zoidberg video review, this time of EA's Dead Space. Dead Space is, in my opinion, one of the greatest new additions to the survival horror genre. It utilizes the third-person over-the-view camera, very popular in the Resident Evil 4, Gears of War series, and Dark Sector. The game casts you as Isaac Clarke, a simple engineer who's sent to figure out why the USG planet cracking mining ship, USG Ishimura, why it's lost contact. Also, the cryptic message from your girlfriend. While Isaac Clarke is the main character of the game, the true stars of the game are known as the Necromorphs. Necromorphs are pretty much the leftover corpses of the ship. The genius behind this alien race is that they are a virus-like alien, and they reanimate dead tissue, and they bend it to their will. So to speak, an understatement of the game would say these enemies would get under your skin. One of the main things you're going to notice is that there is no HUD, no heads-up display. Your health meter is located right there in your spinal column. The small half circle to the right of it is your stasis indicator. Stasis is used to slow down enemies and malfunctioning pieces of environment, say a frantic opening and shutting door that you need to get past. A huge thing you're going to want to notice is that Isaac isn't a soldier, he's not a trained fighter, he's a simple engineer, so you're always going to feel very vulnerable. You got no force field, no excess health indicator. It's just you in this little rig, or your suit. Main element of the gameplay is going to be in zero-G and oxygenless environments. In the zero-G environments, you're going to be able to walk on roofs, fly to the other side of the room, but you're also going to have to remember that your enemies are going to be able to do so as well. This is even more fun when it's mixed with the oxygenless environments, sometimes even outside on the hull of the ship, where you won't be able to hear your enemies, so they can get a nice sneak on you and tear you to bits. The Necromorphs have very basic names, as in like Slasher, Leapers, Exploders, Guardian, Pregnant, and they all fit very well. You'll learn so throughout the course of the game, and most times you'll wish you hadn't. One of the levels, Isaac also gains a telekinesis module, which allows him to grab objects only, sadly no enemies unless they're dead, and fling them around. This helps with flinging fire hydrants, gas tanks, or even just a huge box at an enemy to save ammo. The game is going to play with your mind in that 50% of the time you're going to be scared of and shooting at pieces of the environment rather than the enemies. But that other 50% where the enemies are involved, chances are they're going to sneak up on you rather well and scare the ever-living out of you. Most of the backstory of the game and what recently happened on the ship is told through audio, text, and video logs that you'll pick up along the way. For more insight, I'd recommend getting the graphic novel and the animated feature. You also have a basic melee where you'll smack an enemy away. Certain enemies can block this, and a boot stomp, which is basically the BFG of melee. Your boot hurts, so I suggest you use it. Your weapons on the ship really aren't weapons. Most of them are mining tools. Some that are just basic amalgamations of what you found or what's on the ship. For instance, the flamethrower isn't really a flamethrower, it's just made to look that way, but it works rather well. plasma cutter, line gun, the Ripper, which is interesting. It's a razor blade attached to a, say, telekinesis laser, so you're able to hold it at a distance and slash up your enemies to bits, which is a big part of how you want to survive. You want to dismember enemies. You can't just riddle them up with bullets or blast them in the head for a headshot. Tear off his head, chances are he's still going to crawl at you frantically, like right there. You tear off his feet, he's going to crawl on his arms, or even worse, grow another limb. As odd as it may sound, I want to suggest taking the time to die as many times as possible in as many ways, because the animations are pretty amazing and gory. Throughout the course of the game, you're going to notice the changes in the environment and how this virus-like alien just takes over its environment. But as mentioned with the dying, the game is riddled with tense moments such as this, where you're going to have to think and react very fast in order to get out. And it just gets worse as the line goes down. There's going to be an upgrade system also, as well as a store, which is pretty basic and easy to learn. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Ooh, pretty. So in closing, I'd recommend at least giving the game a try, because this is going to be one of the games where you're never going to want to be scared the shit out of more. I've purchased several pairs of underwear. But this is Zoidberg's second review, and I urge you, especially RROD, to keep on gaming.